Debate on the National Government Constituency Development Fund continues. Members of Parliament slam ODM leader Raila Odinga's calls to have the fund disbanded. President William Ruto signs multiple multilateral deals with Japan at the ongoing Tokyo International Conference on African Development. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Irene Chebiwot. Let's get this show started. Commotion was witnessed at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's supporters thronged the premises, chanting his name while awaiting him to pass the checkpoint. His supporters had camped at the airport from early Thursday morning. Gachagua was in the United States for 6 weeks, where he mobilized supporters and held public forums with Kenyans in the diaspora. His allies addressed their supporters en route to Kamukunji, even as they were not able to hold the much publicized rally.
Yetu ni kumkaribisha na kumlaki kwa shangwe na vigelegele. Tunamwambia karibu nyumbani. Nyumbani inakuhitaji zaidi. Kenya inakuhitaji zaidi.
Na sisi tunajua saa hii Mungu amewashara na Sauli yule tulisimama naye hapo mbele. Saa hii Mungu ametunenea tuweke mafuta kwa mwingine Daundi na sio mwingine, ni His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua.
Na sisi hatuna fujo na mtu, hatuna vurugu na mtu. Nia yetu ni hiyo tu, kumpokea Rigathi Gachagua, na ningetaka niombe serikali kwamba wasituvuruge, maana yake sisi hatuna shida na yeyote.
Wewe William Ruto, we want to tell you, no amount of intimidation, no amount of police tear gas, no amount of goons will stop you from becoming a one-term president. Leo, you need to know you have no moral authority to address this nation on matters tribalism. You have no moral authority to address this nation on matters corruption.
Tuko na by-elections ambazo zinakuja tarehe 27. Tunataka tuaibishe hii serikali ya UDA isipate kiti hata moja. Mtasimama na sisi? Mtasimama na sisi?
Kahawa Court has given the state 14 days to allow the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI to complete forensic analysis of electronic devices belonging to human rights activist Boniface Mwangi, who faces charges related to alleged unlawful possession of ammunition. Magistrate Gideon Kiage issued the ruling on Thursday following a prosecution request for more time to examine items seized from Mwangi during his arrest on July 19th. Mwangi was apprehended in connection with 1 blank bullet and 2 unused tear gas canisters allegedly found in his possession, charges which he has denied. He was released shortly afterwards on a 1 million shillings personal bond. During the proceedings, the prosecution told the court that investigators needed additional time to review the activist's electronic devices, arguing that the findings could be central to the case.
Mashtaka utatumia ili kuwasilisha kesi yao, na kufikia sasa tumepata stakabadhi hizo. Tumepata ripoti 3 za maofisa wa polisi na vitu ambavyo tulikuwa tunahimiza mahakama iwachilie ni vifaa ambavyo vya kielektroniki ambavyo Boniface Mwangi huwa anatumia na watoto wake kujikimu kimaisha na watoto wake kusoma. Jaribu kumpembeleza hakimu aihimize serikali ziwachilie vifaa hivyo. Ameupatia upande wa mashtaka siku 14 ili waje hapa tarehe 4 mwezi wa Septemba ili watupatie vifaa hivyo ambavyo Boniface na watoto wake hutumia.
Has now supplied us with the documents and the evidence that they seek to rely on in this matter. And one of the things we have raised is that when the police went to Boniface Mwangi's house in Athi River, they executed warrants that they did not have. They took computers, they took phones from his house, yet the order did not provide for that. And so we have raised that with the court because those devices were being used by the children.
And I would really want to say that why all these things are happening is because of 2015 Anti-Terrorism Act that we, as Party Kosoi and Fighting Brutality and Impunity in this country, we are calling the members of parliament before they do the argument they're doing in the parliament to make sure that that act is revised, because that act was brought in due to dealing with the Al-Shabaab. Myself, when I was serving in the service and one of the persons in the terrorism unit or in the National Intelligence Service dealing with terrorism unit, some of the classification of terrorism is also making this country internationally to have a bad image, because when we have so many people classified as terrorism, then we are also exposing our country.
Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula has called on members of parliament to reinvigorate their commitment to integrity and efficiency as the 13th parliament enters its final 23 months before the next election. Speaking during the 3rd National Assembly Leadership Retreat in Mombasa, Wetangula emphasized the need for members of parliament to uphold public trust, citing rising concerns of allegations of bribery in legislative processes. He emphasized the need for members of parliament to recognize that they hold positions of public trust and the authority and responsibility vested on them should only be exercised in the interest of the people.
Best executed roles are without impact, and without integrity, leadership means nothing. It fails. Honorable members, the question of integrity is therefore not a choice of what is convenient, but a choice of what is right. As leaders, we must lead from the front by upholding integrity in our different roles, and in this regard, in executing your roles as chairpersons of committees.
We have the thrust to take off. We are now at cruise altitude, or cruise mode, and we must maintain the momentum as the destination is fast approaching in 2027. And it's for these reasons, Honorable Speaker, why we are here today as leaders to renew our synergy as we work together to deliver for the people of Kenya.
The person who is bringing the allegations must come with a proof. The burden of proof belongs to the person who is coming up with allegations. He who alleges must come with proof. That's all.
President William Ruto witnessed the signing of key development cooperation documents between Kenya and Japan during the ongoing Tokyo International Conference on African Development. Statement of intent on the Samurai Bond was signed between Kenya's National Treasury and Nippon Export and Investment Insurance to unlock access to Japan's capital markets, supporting Kenya's initiative in financing strategy for national development. A memorandum of cooperation on human resource development was also signed between the Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute and Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry to boost skills and capacity. These agreements mark a major step forward in deepening Kenya-Japan cooperation across finance, health, and industrial development.
In Senegal, Japan Vocational Training Center, and United Nations.
Given the constrained fiscal space in many African countries, the private sector must also play a central role through effective public-private partnership. A vibrant private sector brings not only capital to bridge financing gaps, but also innovation, technology, and efficiency critical to sustainable growth. Transformation cannot be achieved through endless strategizing, planning, or prevarication. It demands action, the courage to make courageous decisions today, even when inconvenient in the short term, because the long-term good of our people is what matters most.
As Kenya, we have removed visa requirement for any African coming to Kenya to make it possible for Africans, for citizens, for our continent to move freely and to eliminate unnecessary barriers that ultimately impedes trade, improves movement of people, and reduces transition of services and other requirements that facilitate the development of our continent.
The Kenya National Union of Nurses has accused the county governments of Trans Nzoia and Machakos of discrimination against healthcare workers. Speaking in Nairobi, the union's Secretary General Seth Panyako said nurses from counties including Trans Nzoia, Nairobi, Bomet, Busia, Isiolo, Lamu and Machakos remain on strike. Meanwhile, their colleagues in Kwale, Elgeyo Marakwet, Siaya, Kisumu, Migori and Kilifi have since resumed work. The strike, which began on 8th of August this year, has seen progress in dialogue.
Claim of tribalism in Trans Nzoia by His Excellency, my friend, my good friends, Honorable Natembeya. And we want to respond to him by saying that the allegations by Honorable His Excellency Governor for Trans Nzoia that the Kenya National Union of Nurses Trans Nzoia branch has been inflated by tribalism and political interference in the running of the union are not factual. Following employers, in summary, have reached an agreement with the union. I had tried to highlight before, but now I'm giving a clear summary of those that have an agreement and strike has ended. We have Siaya, Samburu, Kisumu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Meru, Embu, Makueni, Kitui, Narok, Kilifi, Uasin Gishu, and Kenyatta National Hospital. Perhaps you should have mentioned that Kajiado never went on strike because they were on strike earlier and the county government of Kajiado agreed to implement the return to work formula of 2017, among other things.
Allies of President William Ruto in Ukambani have issued a stern warning to Raila Odinga over his calls to abolish the National Government Constituency Development Funds, NGCDF, the Senate Oversight Fund, and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, NGAF. Led by Mwala Member of Parliament Vincent Kawaya, the lawmaker said Raila's position goes against the principles of good governance. They termed his sentiments ironic, noting Raila was among the architects of NADCO report, which was to entrench the three funds into law.
Sisi watu wa UDA na watu ya ODM tumepatana katika PG. Na mimi naongea kwa sababu mimi ni National Organizing Secretary wa UDA. Tumekuwa na PG because we have a formula to work together under the broad-based arrangement. And we have no apologies for that because it is a way to bring Kenya together. Na tukasema part of our resolutions is basically to implement NADCO report. Sasa NADCO report inasema nini? NADCO report, one of the issues is talking about is entrenching the CDF in the constitution. One of the other issues is a Senate Oversight Fund na hii pesa ya NGAF. Hii NADCO report, muhusika mkuu kwa hii NADCO report ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba mwenyewe ni muhusika mkuu kwa kutengeneza na kukubaliana kwa NADCO. Kwanza hata hiyo report ndio sasa tunapitisha. Na tukipitisha anasema CDF ni mbaya na iko ndani ya hiyo NADCO yenye tunapitisha hapo kwa hiyo mkutano. Hiyo sasa nao ndio tunaitanga namna gani? So if we must agree, we are implementing NADCO report, tutaitekeleza yote vile iko. Ama namna gani? That said, I am saying by fire by force, we are going to work with the Tinga, we are going to form the next government. By fire by force, we are going to defend CDF. Sawa hiyo kubaliane. Na viongozi wakiwa pamoja si lazima ati mtusiane. We can agree by principle, we agree on certain issues and we disagree on other issues. We are in agreement, we must work together and unite our country. We are in disagreement that CDF will not die.
Kwa hivyo tunasema ile sisi hatutasikizana na najua wananchi wa Kenya hawatakubali ni kuambiwa mtu yeyote anataka kutoa CDF katika nchi ya Kenya. Raila akisema ya kwamba sisi wabunge wa seneti tusifanye oversight, tusiangalie ile magavana wanafanya. Sisi nyinyi mko na gavana wa Kitui. Anafanya kazi afanye.
Workers at Sony Sugar Company have downed their tools in protest over what they describe as unlawful termination of contracts and the non-payment of salaries for the past 2 months. Led by the representative No Pio, the workers say they are demanding full settlement of all salary arrears and benefits before the government-imposed exit deadline of October 31st, 2025.
Vitu ambayo inaendelea sasa, wafanyikazi hawaelewi vizuri. Kwanza tuliambiwa serikali itatulipa salary for the 6 months ambayo inakuja. Hii 6 months haijaisha, serikali sasa haijatulipa for 2 months. SHA haijalipwa, NSF haijalipwa, pesa zetu za associations na welfare groups hazijalipwa, deductions from banks hazijalipwa. Sasa hivi ile tunaongea 2 months imepita, mshahara haijaingia. Serikali ianze kutulipa, hakuna siku tumelipwa in time. Mara ya kwanza walitulipa tarehe 23 of the following month. Mara ya pili wakatulipa tarehe 17 of the following month. Sasa hii mara ya 3 na ya 4 hatujalipwa mpaka sasa.
I'm the one taking care of my children. I'm standing here as a woman who is taking care of her children. School fees is on my head. Food is on my head. Clothing is on my head. So everything I'm doing, I'm talking on behalf of every woman that we need money. And we need the clarification on how they want to pay us. If it is redundancy period thing that they are talking about, how will they approach it? How will they pay us? Will they give us money before giving us termination letters, or will they give us termination letters before? After that, then they will give us money. We want money. We want money in our hands. In fact, I'm an contracted employee. I've worked here from 2009 mpaka wa leo.
Juzi president amekuwa hapa. Mambo ya soni ya kuzungumza. Aliongea tu juujuu ati nimeongea na majamaa walipe. Hawalipe aje? Tumekuwa tukilipwa na serikali. Unafika tarehe 13, 15 tunalipwa. Sasa hizi tarehe 20 imeingia, tujalipwa pesa. Hakuna communication, hakuna kitu yote. Kitu ambacho tunapata, heshima ambayo tunapata, asante, ni kunawekewa barua, tunaambiwa by tarehe 31 Oktoba kila mtu anapata barua kwenda nyumbani. Mimi siogopi kwenda kwetu. Nimeserve Soni 27 years. Natoka hapa niende Butere bila pesa yote. Wanipatie kama ni pesa, sisi tunawafanyikazi wanalia. Hakuna mtu anaogopa kwenda kwao. But hiyo barua, kitu ya kwanza check, unipatie barua yangu sijakataa. Okay, unataka saizi watu waende nyumbani. President alikuwa akisema nini? Wana create job. Mimi age yangu imefika. Na je, vijana wadogo hawataenda wapi? Surely unasema una create jobs.
In a similar strike, Chemelil Sugar Company workers have gone on strike over delayed July salaries and unpaid arrears of 1.5 billion shillings. The workers' union accuses the government of breaching the MOU signed during the leasing transition and vows employees in company houses will not vacate until all dues are cleared. They are now urging President William Ruto to intervene to guarantee a peaceful transition by ensuring full payment of salaries, arrears and benefits. The protests come as state-owned sugar farms in the region begin declaring redundancies amid the ongoing leasing transition.
Right now, a number of employees are sick in the hospitals. They cannot be treated unless they paid cash. This is because the SAR remittance has not been done by the government. As we speak again, and this week, a circular has come from the ministry that states clearly that these employees here will no longer be at work come 31st of October. This is a circular of redundancy.
And we want to send a strong signal to the government that it is high time that they fulfill some of the commitments that were enshrined in the MOU that was signed between the Kenya Union of Sugar Plantation Workers and the ministry. As a union, we have since read mischief from the government because the government is not in compliance with some pertinent provisions of the MOU that were agreed upon between the two parties.
We have the GNCs here, we have widows, we have couples who work here. We didn't even go for lunch because if you go to the house, the children will need food. You don't have that food to provide. On Monday, they are supposed to go back to school. We don't have money. At this juncture, we have to pay the cash. We don't have that cash. We are very disappointed.
All right, allow us to take a quick break right here on EBN Prime Edition. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Stay with us. An outbreak of measles has been reported. Children have been reported to have contracted measles in the Shela area of Malindi town, with health officials saying they are conducting a mop-up exercise and administering repeat measles vaccine to those who may have missed out in the recent campaign.
Ingawa kuna itikadi mbaya ambazo zinaingizwa katika swala hili la chanjo mara nyingi, lakini sisi viongozi wa dini jambo kama hili tunapinga kabisa, kwamba hakuna madhara yoyote kupeleka mtoto wako hospitali kwenda kupata chanjo. Ni tusikubali kwamba kuna watu wanapotosha jambo kama hili kusema labda kuna madhara. Kwa hivyo tungeomba jamii mjini Malindi na Kilifi County wawajibike kikamilifu kuwapeleka watoto hawa hospitali kupata chanjo kama hizi kikamilifu bila kudharau yoyote. Manake ikiwa inatangazwa kwamba kuna chanjo fulani inakuja, basi wazazi wajibike kuwatoa watoto wao wale ambao wametangaziwa kwamba chanjo kama hizi ziwafikie, basi wajitolee na wapate chanjo kama hizi.
Baadhi ya changamoto kusema kweli ni kwamba kuna wazazi ambao wanapeleka watoto wao kwa zahanati kupata chanjo zile za mwanzo, lakini wanapopata zile chanjo za mwanzo wanasahau ya kwamba kuna zile za kuendeleza. Kwa hivyo unapata mtoto alipata chanjo moja, alafu ya pili na kuendelea hadi ya tatu hadi ile ya miaka 14 kama ni msana unapata hapati. So ni jukumu la sisi kama washikadau na pamoja na wazazi tuchukulie jambo hili muhimu sana, kwa sababu ni katika ile juhudi hiyo ndio tunasema kwamba afya yako ni jukumu lako.
Iwapo kama tutahakikisha kila mtu tumekumbatia jambo hili na watoto wamepata chanjo ipaswavyo, basi zitatuweka katika hali nzuri ya kuzuia maambukizi ya magonjwa ama mlipuko wa magonjwa. Na ningependa tu kuripoti ya kuwa kwa kuwa tuko chini sana katika masuala ya chanjo, watoto wengi namaanisha kuwa hawajapata ile kama measles, rubella ya pili, wengi walimalizia ile ya miezi 9. Kiwango chetu cha chanjo kiko chini, na hivyo pia tumeanza kuona dalili ya kuwa ni kweli kiko chini, kwa sababu kuna mkurupuko wa ugonjwa wa ukambi ndani ya Malindi. Tumeripoti visa kadhaa vya ukambi na tunaendelea na juhudi za kufanya kitu tunaita mop-up. Mop-up ni wakati tumeona watoto 2-3 wameambukizwa ukambi, tunaenda door to door kwenye zile nyumba na kule masehemu wanakosoma mashule, tukipeana hizi chanjo kama booster dose.
Kabuchai Member of Parliament Kalasinga Majimbo has come out and disregarded the election of West Nalondo Ward Representative Polycarp Wandabosi as chairman of Ford Kenya Party in Kabuchai constituency, saying the exercise was not conducted in accordance with the Ford Kenya Party rules. Speaking right after the election, which was conducted without his involvement, the MP claims that he does not recognize the election because it did not follow the required criteria, claiming that his stand on issues in Parliament should not make him discriminated by the party. Kalasinga has called on the party's Secretary General, Dr. John Chikati, and its chairperson, Catherine Wambilianga, to conduct by-elections or elections in a legal way, saying it will help achieve transparency.
Now sahi mnakuja kukaa a small clique of MCAs, mnasema majimbo hakukuwa kwa chama. When did between me and you, who came to the party first? I am an old member of Fort Kenya. Na kama ningoka Fort Kenya tunangoka na yote. But for now I'm in the party. I am in Fort Kenya. And I'm here to stay. And should you bring problems, tunangoka na chama. I want to promise you. Nobody is less. When you become the MP, you become the property of the people. You respect the people. That's what I do. I don't worship others. I respect them. Tawe si chama. Tawe in Kibukusu katika Kiswahili inasema hapana, na in English inasema no. 2023 wakati serikali ilileta taxation ambayo ilikuwa mbaya, finance bill ilikuwa inaumiza watu, majimbo Kalasinga nilisema tawe to that finance bill. I said no to it. I rejected it. Secondly, 2024 wakati finance bill ya pili ilikuja pia na shida, nikaenda bunge nikasema tawe. Mimi I don't agree with the election. How do you expect me kushirikiana na yeye? In the first place, he has come the wrong door. You can't come to my house using the window and expect me to give you a chair to sit. Go out again and come using the forward door. Yes, let Catherine Wambilianga, with the Secretary General of the party, Dr. Chikati, call for elections here in Kabuchai openly. Re-elect him. I will have no problem with him. Na hata Mheshimiwa Moses Masika Wetangula wakati alikuwa anaingia Fort Kenya, tulienda katika polling station yake tukatoa mtu mmoja, tukamweka akakuwa delegate from the polling station, akapanda to the sub location, ikaenda to the location, ikaenda to the ward, ikaenda to this branch, and the branch during our time it was the constituency called Sirisia. He came, and that is also the way I went through. How do I find myself to the neck without a sub-count delegate?
Now, Kenya's fairy tale run in their debut African Nations Championship faces its sternest test yet when they clash with Madagascar in the quarterfinals at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, on Friday, tomorrow. Benny McCarthy's Harambee Stars topped Group A unbeaten after edging Zambia 1-0 in their final group match. History beckons, and it shows that Madagascar's Barea are no strangers to upsetting giants. The two sides have met once before at an international friendly on 2019, where Kenya trumped 1-0, courtesy of a 64th minute Victor Wanyama penalty. Friday's showdown offers Kenya the chance to build on that record or risk surrendering the edge.
I think everything is okay. We are happy, we are motivated, and we are ready for tomorrow's game. They're a good team. We have analyzed them. We have seen the strong point, the weak point. So we know that it's not easy to be in the quarterfinals, and we respect them. And yeah, we take them very seriously. And tomorrow, inshallah, we're going to do our best to win.
Kwanza kabisa as a player, mimi nimejipanga kuweza kuweka clean sheet kesho. Juu sasa mali tumefika ni crucial sana, na tunategemea hiyo kutofungwa. Juu kama game itaendelea kukaa 0-0, inamaanisha kuna high chances ya kuweza kuiwin at the end. So mimi kwanza binafsi ndaanza na hiyo kuangalia ulinzi, hiyo safu ya ulinzi ikuwe sawa, na najua sisi tukiweza kupata chance yetu huko mbele tukifunga angalau hata 1-0 inaweza kushinda mechi.
Mali tumefika, kuna opponent tunaweza sema ako hivi ama hivi, kwa sababu sasa tunacheza na timu zote zimeshinda kwa group zao, which hiyo na show that we need to concentrate more, kwa sababu hiyo si group stage anymore. Alafu pia effort yetu kwa group stage imekuwa immense sana, that tukilose match ita show something that maybe we were lucky on the group stage, which to me we were not lucky. Yeah.
All right, we wrap it up at that point tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you're duly informed. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Irene Chebiwot. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a wonderful evening.